All right, welcome back to AGT. Nope, that's not it. Awful, great taste, but execution. That totally works. For some reason, I can always say awful taste, but great execution, but the acronym gets me every time, I swear. Anyway, before we get started, a couple new vlogs up on the Vlogs and Stuff channel this week. If you have any interest, links in the description. I think they happen to be pretty good videos, but you can decide for yourself. Learn to drive a manual transmission, did a drawing challenge with Butch Hartman, who also made Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom and all that good stuff. Anyway, link down below. We'll start off with what I think is round number 19, Nike high heels. I don't actually believe that Nike sells those. I think someone made those aftermarket. I don't know why you would want to take a probably pretty comfortable shoe and make it anything but that, but hey, you know, you'll stand out from the rest of the crowd, I suppose. This would actually be kind of a funny thing to do, an exhibition basketball game or something like that of everyone being in converted Nike high heel shoes. That'd be kind of funny, actually. Let's arrange this. YouTuber Nike high heel basketball match. Hit me up. I got it. Zoidberg. Why would you want to do that to yourself? Like, I can see clever integration with your toes being part of Zoidberg's face and all that stuff, but you have to look at it upside down every time you see it, unless you're looking at like a full-length mirror. And anyone else who you're ever with in any intimate fashion, you're gonna pull that sock off your foot. They're gonna be like, yeah, no. So you're just not gonna get to the point of intimacy if you live in a house where you take off your shoes. So no, I guess you can just always wear socks, but they're gonna be like, I don't. Why not Zoidberg? I'm like, nah, lots of options as to why not Zoidberg. Okay, anyway, this headstone that looks like an iPhone. I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but also I don't know if whatever family members put together this headstone are speaking ill. Is it like a passive-aggressive, subtle jab that this person spent too much time on their phone while they were living? Or is it just a genuine attempt to commemorate that this person was really interested in their phone and selfies and taking pictures and that sort of thing? 1990 to 2016. That is kind of sad, actually. 26 years old. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, this just got a little bit depressing. So we're going to move along now to General Wee. Well, that's actually really well done. If you don't get the reference, Dukes of Hazzard, they drove a car called the General Lee. I think was it a Charger? I think it was a Charger. Anyway, this is obviously not a Charger, it's a smart car, but very well done. Like, would you call this awful taste? I wrapped my Fiat, you know? An equally, similarly small-sized vehicle. I gave it a wrap. I guess the only possible thing that could be a thing is the Confederate flag, but it is from the, you know, the show. So it's an accurate representation of what they had in the show, but I suppose there are people who might not realize that. Not bad. Not bad at all. You know, I can share in the rap love for a small vehicle. This hardcore Star Wars tattoo. Dad jokes. That's great. It seems like it'd be a little bit better maybe on a poster. I don't know if this is something that you would want to have on your body for the rest of your entire life. This person obviously elected to go that way. But, you know, maybe you really like Slayer. You really like metal. Someone's gonna get really mad at me they're gonna be like, Slayer's not metal, it's something else. I'm like, I'm so sorry, I don't know what the exact genre is, but whatever. And you really like Star Wars. How do you fuse the two passions together? This is the one and only way. If I was hardcore fans of the both of them, I'd probably buy up this poster. Not bad at all, just probably wouldn't tattoo it. Also, it's kind of colorful, which means if you ever wanted to remove it, it's gonna be quite difficult. Furry Fiat 500, oh my God. Wow. This one has a special place in my heart. As a former owner of a Fiat 500, I can tell you this is not the Abarth, even though I can't really see the Scorpion badge. These are not the wheels that come on the Abarth, in case you were wondering. As the resident Fiat 500 expert here, you know, if there was one car you were going to do the furry wrap on, this would be the one to do it, let's be totally honest. This seems even more difficult to take care of than one of those velvet wraps. I can see bugs just ooze from hitting them, getting caught all in there, and there's not really much of a way to deal with that. But maybe This person runs a dog grooming business, a mobile dog grooming business where they go to houses and groom dogs and stuff like that. This could be like the eco-friendly miniature version of the Dumb and Dumber car. If you haven't seen Dumb and Dumber, you should watch that movie. I think we've gotten to a point where there are probably people watching this who are too young to have seen Dumb and Dumber. And you should, it's funny. It's stupid, but it's great. Hot rod casket. A lot of death this time around, apparently. I don't know how you would say that's awful taste. What if this person actually worked on painting cars for a living and did a lot of flame graphics on them? Or they designed Guy Fieri shirts for a living. Could go either way. And this is genuinely what they did on a daily basis in their lives. Passed away. And like, what better way to commemorate that than to do that to their casket? If I got buried in my Ford GT, it would be a very expensive casket, but hey, why not? Why not is because I'll probably be cremated. Just scatter me somewhere where I can fertilize some plants. That'll be great. But if I were to be buried, I would want to be buried in something that commemorates my interests. This stove. Oh my God, that looks like such a hazard to your stubbing your toes. Oh, can you imagine? It's a little dark. It's nighttime. You forget to turn on the lights. You're like, I'll be fine. And you just whack your toe right into the edge of a digger arm. Oh. Also, I'm just not entirely sure why. It's not a stove for cooking things. It's a furnace just for heat. And like, why this whole setup here? It's unique. It just seems slightly out of place maybe, but what do I know? I'd be more worried about destroying my toes is all. Because if there's something to stub my toe on, I will do it. Full leg Disney tattoo. I'm not entirely sure why this even belongs here. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I feel like I say this every time. I'm not someone who will ever get a tattoo, but this is something I would expect to appear on the actual like tattoo subreddit where people share tattoos that they find cool and are proud of. This looks really awesome. It looks like they still need to finish it up there. It's relatively new. I mean, that's well done. And if you're gonna pick any sort of IP to have a tattoo of that you know is never gonna fade away, it's never gonna become irrelevant, Disney is the way to go. I don't know what's wrong here. Why is this on awful taste, but great execution? All right, well, anyway, whatever. This snakeskin tattoo on some dude's leg. All right, now we've gone from one end of the spectrum to the other. This belongs here a little bit more. Is that really a tattoo? Part of why I'm finding that hard to believe is it actually looks textured. Like, if this is completely just skin with ink on it, well done to that artist, because they somehow shaded this in a way that looks completely three-dimensionally textured. Like, that's really impressive. But also, why though? Did you do your entire body, or does this cut off somewhere? That's, oh God, really good art. Just, this guy drywalls. Are those like three-dimensionally embossed guns on ceilings? Hey man, if you want to show people that you have a real appreciation for specific period piece revolvers, then there you go. Maybe it's a self-defense thing, because I'm gonna be honest. If I was a burglar and I stepped into a house and I saw that on the ceiling, I'd be like, all right, wrong house. Because I can guarantee you with a 101% certainty that anyone who has that on their ceiling, they own multiple many guns, a lot of them. Got hops? It's kind of cool. You know what would be even cooler is, like, say you had a prosthetic leg, a prosthetic leg that had sort of see-through to internal workings and things like that, so you look like a bionic human. I don't know. Like, obviously, I value my leg. I appreciate having it, but God forbid I was ever in a situation where I'd want to have a dope prosthetic. But it's cool. I think the look of having my skin torn and ripped out the back would get a little bit weird over time. I've seen worse. We've been on the Shoot the Tattoo subreddit, so it does exist. To be honest, I kind of love it. Whatever. I do what I want. I mean, you do. You did get that tattooed on you. Cartman with very heavy makeup on. I wouldn't do it to myself, but it's clear that you do what you want. You know, it's just good that this was well executed, because if it wasn't, then it really just bring the whole thing down, crashing down like the Hindenburg. Fortunately, you got a good artist, so we'll leave it at that. Stripper nails. Okay, risky click, here we go. Oh, you... See, I thought that we were about to look at the nails that are on a stripper. I mean, these very well could be, but you meant actual nails that have pole dancing going on them. That's, wow, okay. I feel like that would get in the way of a routine. I would be really worried if I was gonna be doing a whole pole routine, because I definitely would be in the market to do one of those one day. Yeah, I just think you would be at risk of breaking one of those off, but what do I know? I've never tried it before. Believe it or not, I know you guys must just envision me pole dancing on a regular basis, and we are demonetized. Thank you, YouTube captions. So this one was, I didn't really get it. I think it was a Simpsons reference. I haven't watched The Simpsons in a long time, so I apologize, but that's okay. Anyway, this gutter downspout. Bravo. All right, you know what? That's fine. That's great. Because when was the last time you ever looked at a gutter and said to yourself, oh, that's interesting. That's a really neat gutter. Or you've never have you looked twice at a gutter before unless it was on your own house and there was a problem with it and you had to do something with it, which I've had to do before. So I have looked at a gutter, but I've never looked at a gutter and gone, oh, that's original. You never thought that you were gonna think twice about a gutter before until just now. This is the first time that's ever happened, and you gotta give some credit where credit is due. It's a world first for just about everyone here. Well done. Someone else is like, no, I really like gutters, and I look at them, I'm like, okay, good for you, man. Speaking for most of us, okay? Not one exception. These slide sandals. Reminds me of, what was it called? That fish thing that it was on a wooden framing plaque, and you put it on your wall, and it would sing songs and like flop around. What is it called? Loudmouth bass, right? Is that, hold on. Now I just have to know. Loudmouth bass? Oh, largemouth bass? Hold on. What was it? What was it called? Largemouth bass. It was. It doesn't, but it must be just so gone and old into obscurity now that Google doesn't even know how to autofill it. Well, oh, big mouth Billy bass. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Reminds me of that. That was a long time ago, but there was a fad. I remember being real young, going over to friends' houses, and I'd be like, oh, you got that thing I've seen on TV all the time. In retrospect, I'm like, why would you buy that? But apparently that's the mindset that people adopted over time, is the why would you buy that? Probably still exists, honestly, and I'm just not aware of it. Concrete slab coffee table. How is that awful taste but great execution? I'd buy that. That's actually a pretty nice aesthetic. Feel like it would mesh with some of the things in my house, especially because I already do own a concrete coffee table. It doesn't have any wood or exposed rebar, it's just concrete. Also, it's so heavy. Oh my God. I feel like I have decent strength, and that thing, I can slide it around on the rug that it's on, but there's no way I could pick it up on my own. I would need someone else, and we would even then just be like, oh God, this is so heavy. Yeah, it's heavy, so this is probably heavy too. I like it. I even like the exposed rebar bits. I think that I'd probably stub my toe on it, and that'd be a bloody one probably, but I think it's nice. Why is this like top 3 of the month or something like that? It's pretty cool. I guess I've got like some eclectic taste or something like that, but I don't think so. Heard you guys might appreciate this velvet Mercedes I saw. I don't know why, because it destroys the lines of the car. That just makes them disappear. It's like just 1 degree below painting a car in Vanta black, which would actually be kind of a cool effect. Probably kind of illegal because it'd look like just a black hole driving around and you would have like no depth perception on it. I've talked to Ryan at West Coast Customs though about the velvet wraps because he's done one before, and he says they're actually not that difficult to maintain and clean, which I was surprised about. But still, I would not. No, it ruins the lines of the car. You don't see them anymore. It just looks like a blob, a furry blob. Like, I didn't buy a car to make it a furry blob. And also, there's somebody that's still skeptical about the whole cleaning thing. But, well, anywho, That's it for the last month of Awful Taste but Great Execution. I hope you've enjoyed. Make sure to like if you'd like. Check out the post in the description if you want to catch up on other videos. Watch the vlogs. Those are linked down below as well. And subscribe here, there, everywhere. And music in the outro. I'll see you next time.